Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. This evening, Rudy from Alpha Investments opened an entire case of Double Masters 2022 for one of his patrons. Tonight, we're going to be doing an MTG box analysis on the 8 collector booster boxes that we saw during his opening. I'll be putting links to Rudy's channel in the description below, as well as a link to the video showing the case opening if you want to check that out for yourself. And with that, let's get into it. This chart shows only the rare and mythic cards that Rudy shared from the main set and all of the borderless, foil-etched, and textured foils during the opening. I did not track any of the commons and uncommons from the main set, as Rudy skips over these during his openings. Now, collector booster packs are not eligible to contain any non-foil versions of cards from the main set, which is why these areas of the chart don't show any cards. The only cards that you will see in these collector boosters without some kind of foil treatment are the borderless cards. Looking at the data, we can see a high concentration in the borderless category with 96 non-foils and 95 foils making an appearance. We saw exactly 32 etched foils, 1 per pack, and one of the elusive textured foils, which took place of 1 foil borderless card. Pivoting to coverage by rarity, just looking at the non-foil borderless cards, we saw all 9 of the commons, 20 of the 21 uncommons, only missing the young pyromancer in non-foil. We also saw 17 of the borderless rares and 8 of the mythics. In the foil etch space, we saw 23% of the rares and 12% of the mythics. Finally, in the traditional foil space, which includes all rares and mythics from the main set plus all borderless, we saw 100% of the commons and uncommons, as well as 40 of the rares and 11 mythics. Let's take a look at duplication of this particular case. Out of the 256 cards tracked, which includes all cards from the first borderless card in each pack, this case had a duplication percentage of 34%. From the main set, we saw 2 foil Gravecrawlers, 2 foil Anger of the Gods, and 2 foil Rafika the Menes. In the borderless space, we saw playsets of the non-foil Seeker of the Way and the non-foil Golgari Rot Farm. And in foil, we saw playsets of Spell Pierce, Thought Scour, and Monastery Swiftspear. We also saw 5 copies of the non-foil Rampant Growth, and foil borderless Seeker of the Way, and the foil Cassili Pride Mage. Here's a look at all of the cards that we saw during the Box 1 opening. The non-foils are on the left side of your screen, and the foils are on the right side of your screen. The prices shown are going to be for TCG market price if available, and if not, it's the lowest pre-sale price I could find on TCG Player. In this particular box, we saw 4 big hits. We saw Liliana in foil etched with a value of $67.50, the Ulamog in foil borderless at $79.17, the Mana Drain in foil borderless at $280, and the foil borderless hardened scales at $60. That gave this box a market price value of $799.53. Here's a look at all the cards that we saw in box 2 of the opening. Again, the non-foils are on the left and the foils are on the right. In this box, we saw 3 medium-sized hits. I say medium only because in box 1, I was counting anything over $50 as a big hit. In a normal set, I would count anything over $10 as a big hit, but this is Double Masters 2022. We saw the Borderless Damnation, currently valued at $32.69, the Concordiant Crossroads at $38.91, and the foil Liliana from the main set at $35.25. And finally, we saw the biggest hit of them all, the textured foil Ulamog with a current market price of $600 on TCG Player. In total, this box has an even $944 of market value. Here's a look at all the cards that we saw in box 3 of the opening. In this box, we saw 3 big hits, with the borderless Mana Drain bringing in $75.07, the foil etched Force and Negation at $95 even, and the Dockside Extortionist in foil borderless at $89.56. In total, this box has a market price value of $697.52. Here's a look at all the cards that we saw in box 4 of the opening. In this box, we saw 3 big hits, including a massive hit on the borderless Imperial Seal at $364.68. We also saw 2 copies of the foil borderless hardened scales in this box, valued at $60 each. In total, this box has a market price value of $852.03. Here's a look at all the cards that we saw in box 5 of the opening. This box had two massive hits with the borderless Renin 6 demanding $110.84 and the foil version pulling in $284.44. We also saw a foiled etch Concordant Crossroads at $88.45, a Cavern of Souls from the main set in foil at $62, and a Makessa in foil borderless at $73.61, which took the box over the $1,000 mark to $1,017.02 in market price value. Here's a look at all the cards that we saw in box 6 of the opening. Emrakul, Aeon of Torns in borderless form is bringing in $58.46. Sensei's Divining Top in borderless is bringing in $56.06, and Cavern of Souls in borderless is at $87.70. Master of Cruelties in foil etched is at $59.99, and the borderless foil Smothering Tithe is at $104.48. In total, this box had a market price value of $591.63 in cards. Here's a look at the cards that we saw in box 7 of the opening. This box had three big hits with the borderless Phyrexian Altar bringing in $71.16 and the foil etched Aether Vial at $50. We also saw a foil borderless Chaos Warp at $52. In total, this box had a market price value of $539.40. And here's a look at all the cards that we saw in the final box opened. This box had four big hits with the borderless Ulamog bringing in $90.80 of value, the foil etched Food Chain bringing in $89.96, and the Grim Flare in foil etched bringing in $67.99. And then finally, we had a repeat of the foil borderless Mana Drain for $280. In total, this box had a market price value of $902.98. Finally, here's a look at all 8 collector booster boxes in this case. I'm not 100% sure what Rudy's Patreon paid for the case, but based on the numbers, we can see that the combined market price value is currently sitting at $6,344.11. I've got my pre-orders in and should be opening at least 2 booster boxes and 4 collector boxes on the channel as soon as they arrive. So if you want to see those openings and their corresponding MTG box analysis, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, do something amazing.